Yes, sir. YouTube live started, sir.
Shall we start?
Yes, sir.
And Malti, can you just make a last minute call once again, just to check? Anyway, we'll start. Hopefully, Chief will join. So, good evening, teachers and friends. Hopefully, Chief and Madam will join us shortly. So, welcome to our 43rd Foundation Day virtual celebrations. No 2 years at SN are the same. None of us imagined that this year would be so different from any of the preceding 43 years. I'm not sure the challenges we face today is comparable to the challenges faced when we started our journey in 1978. We are glad to have Chief, Madam, Dr. Bhaskaran, Dr. Surendran, who have seen both the era and who have been enlightening us today. While COVID has kept us apart physically, it has brought us closer digitally. I take this opportunity to express our sincere gratitude to our institute's frontline warriors, namely the PGs and the fellows, the nursing staff, the DPS, the OT staff, the transport department, the maintenance team, the commercial department, security, housekeeping, and the cafeteria staff, who have been the face of Sankara Nethralaya for all the patients who have walked in through our gates to seek treatment during this lockdown. Obviously, all the other staff too chipped in to ensure smooth functioning despite the umpteen lockdowns that we had. As we unlock our services tomorrow, I wish you all the best for a safe and a successful restart. What better way to get into a happy mood than to listen to some of the interesting anecdotes as we walk down the memory lane. On a lighter note, when I joined back SN in 2017, I was told by a well-wisher that one of the many reasons that Chief was so successful as an administrator for decades was because he had his ears to the ground. He knew everything that was happening in the organization. Even if someone sneezed, he came to know about it. Well, 3 years into my new role, I can claim that nowadays, even I come to know if anyone sneezes or coughs, courtesy the COVID pandemic. So, friends, stay safe and strong. Thank you. And I now request Radhika to take charge of the proceedings.
Thank you, Dr. Girish. Good evening and welcome all of you to this Sankara Nethralaya Family Fest. To put you in a listening mood for the evening, let me start with a small story. On a hot afternoon on the beach, there were a couple of tourists standing in the shade. At a distance, they saw a man dancing under the sun. Curious, they moved closer and they saw that he was not actually dancing. He was picking up some objects from the beach and throwing them into the sea. So they asked him what he was doing. The man replied that plenty of starfish had washed ashore, and if left under the sun, they would die. So he was trying to restore them to the ocean. The tourists looked around. There were thousands and thousands of starfish. Sure enough, the man had cleared a small area, but there were lots more to go. So one of them asked him, okay, buddy, you're doing a great job, but do you really think you can finish this? You may not be able to. So do you think it is worth it? For that, the man smiled and replied, for all these that I have cleared, it's been worth it. And for this one in my hand, it will be. So that is the spirit with which Sankara Nethralaya was started decades ago, supported by the twin pillars of spirit of service and state-of-the-art science, so that haves and have-nots can beget equal eye care. SN has come a long way, and today is SN's birthday. So, as a treat, we are going to indulge in some nostalgia, and we shall begin that with an invocation by the melodious Dr. Meenakshi.
Namaskaram. ரொம்ப நாள் முன்னாடி, a very long time ago, Chief once mentioned that the song that I'm about to sing is one of his favorite songs. At that time, I did not know how to sing it, so I have tried to learn it in the last few days. I hope you all like it. பிறவாவரம் தாரும் பிறவாவரம் தாரும் பெம்மானே பிறவாவரம் தாரும் பெம்மானே பிறவாவரம் தாரும் ஓ பிறவாவரம் தாரும் பிறவாவரம் தாரும் பிறந்தால் உன் திருவடி பிறவாவரம் தாரும் பிறந்தால் உன் திருவடி மறவாவரம் தாரும் பிறவாவரம் தாரும் பிறந்தால் உன் திருவடி மறவாவரம் தாரும் மாநில மேலி பிறவாவரம் தாரும் பார்வதி நேயா பக்த சகாயா பார்வதி நேயா பக்த சகாயா வந்த மராதா வந்தருள்தாரா வந்த மராதா வந்தருள்தாரா முந்தை வினை கோர சில்தா குலம் தீர முந்தை வினை கோர சிந்தா குலம் தீர எந்தையும் பாதாரவிந்தம் துணை சேர பிறவாவரம் தாரும் பெம்மானே பிறவாவரம் தாரும் பெம்மானே ஏ
Thank you. Dr. MS is indeed the MS Amma of our institute. We can definitely say that. My introduction to Dr. SSB and SN happened 25 years ago when I joined SN as a student. It seems like a long time when I say it out loud like that. I was posted under a senior from whom I was supposed to learn the ropes. And on the first day, he taught me rather, that when you're doing refraction, never leave the trial glasses on the patient's face when you step out of the room, because he had made the mistake of doing that. And when he came back, the glasses were not there. And the patient sweetly told him, a big man in a black safari had walked into the room, pocketed the glasses, and requested the patient to tell the doctor to come personally and collect it from his office. That was a valuable first day lesson for me. Many followed. There were lots of do's and don'ts as part of our training in Sankara Nethralaya. We were supposed to be punctual. Chief would be manning the entrance of Mako block at 8 in the morning. We have to enter our patient records very meticulously and carefully. Those were paper files at that time. We have to print our handwritten signature carefully. We have to enter the ICD code. And we have to be thrifty. We can't leave the lights on after finishing work. But thrift, mind you, never came in the way of state of the art. And one more, we could never take the lift down. We have to take the stairs down. And many of these we wanted to follow. Some of these we had to follow. But over a period of time, these little things kind of got under our skin and they became second nature. So when we matured into professionals and went on to do bigger and better things like, seeing our own patients or doing a surgery or delivering a lecture, performing on par came naturally most of the time because of this kind of training. So every block of stone has a potential sculpture. It takes a resourceful sculptor to bring it out. And that is exactly the role played by Dr. Badrinath in the making of Sankara Nethralaya and in the shaping of our professional careers. It is my honor and privilege to invite our beloved chief to share a few things with us today. Sir, it's indeed been a very long time that we listen to you speak.
Mohan, can you unmute, sir?
No, sir, I can't do anything, sir. They has to do, sir.
I'll call Anth now.
बटन ऑन
ये तो ये अनम्यूट क्याથી જ કરશે
Good evening, ma'am. Good evening, sir.
Radhika, by the time we sort out Chief's audio, maybe we can proceed with the next part and then we'll come back to Chief's speech.
Right. Meenakshi, do you want to introduce Dr. Bhaskaran's words here and then
yes, I
take
can
over?
do that. I can do that. Thank you, Radhika. And so I'm going to share with you our chief physician, Dr. Bhaskaran's message in the same vein as Radhika has been sharing anecdotes. one of the first, when I joined in 2001, one of the first tasks given to me was quality improvement. There was a group organized, and when Dr. Bhaskaran was the head of the group, many people told me, all the best, you don't know what you're getting into. And so, of course, I was very frightened. But then he turned out to be a really affectionate man, approachable. And so here I share with you his message. As one of the senior most employees of Sankara Nethralaya, it is with great pride that I wish all my colleagues a happy 43rd Founders Day. This institution, from the time of its inception, has stood for ethical and moral principles and has set a trend for many medical service organizations. We have been acclaimed to be one of the best in the country, comparable with some of the best in the world, all due to the dedicated and untiring efforts of each and every employee of Sankara Nethralaya. Even during the present difficult days due to the COVID pandemic, we have taken care of all our employees and their family and will continue to do so in the future as well. Friends, I'm sure we will serve this institution with much more vigor as we face newer challenges. Wish you all a healthy and peaceful life. Dr. Bhaskaran. And following Dr. Bhaskaran, we have none other than our Vice Chairman, my boss, Dr. T.S. Surendran, who is popularly known as the Punnagai Mannan, because not only he is doing smiles and laugh, but he's making everybody around him also laugh. And so here he is to take us on a walk down the memory lane. Over to you, Dr. Surendran.
Good evening. Many happy returns to SN team and also to our dear Dr. Pramod Pende. And as usual, any news about Chief and Madam?
They have joined, sir.
They joined.
Yes, sir.
Okay, let me wish again once again Dr. Badrinath and Vasanthi Badrinath and rest of your team members. Can I have the slide show, please?
Mohan, can you have the slides?
Multimedia. So it has been 42 years. I think our Nethralaya has become presbyopic. So presbyopia caused great challenges. Now we have in the form of COVID. Slides, are they coming? Okay, I think if it's getting delayed, I'll just share when I think Nethralaya was born on 1978. I was one of the first employee. Actually, am I audible? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yes, you are audible.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So
Sir,
when
you
we
are
started,
audible.
we had
Echo is because you
almost
have two connections, sir. I think one you have to disconnect.
Badrinath was number 2, Dr. Chandran Abraham was number 3, Dr. Mary Abraham was number 4, and I was number 5. And I had a sabbatical and joined back with number 17. And so it has been almost 42 years. I think Girish Rao, you mentioned 43 years. We have just completed 42 years and we are entering the 43rd year. So there were many firsts of the institution. My slides are ready. Something wrong. My slides are ready.
Yes, sir. The slides are being seen.
I'm not seeing that. Now I'm able to see. I think some slides have been skipped. Going very fast. Can I have the first slide, please? Yeah, this was the inauguration. You can see Dr. Ramurthy addressing our gathering. Mrs. Agarwal is there, Mr. Mohan Rao, and Dr. Badrinath is there in the back. And that was 6th of September. I was sitting in the last row. Next slide, please. This was the building which we got from NXG. In fact, I think when these negotiations are going on, actually my father was joint secretary in the Public Works Department, and the file was right in my house. And he showed the enthusiasm of Dr. Badrinath and the founders, Mr. V.D. Swami, and Mr. Mohan Rao, signing all the documents. And with the help of Dr. MGR, that time Chief Minister, and Mr. S.D. Somasundram, Revenue Minister, the building was acquired with 18 grounds of land behind. And this was the first building which we bought. Until that time, we were running it in Vijaya Hospital. Next slide, please. Actually, upstairs became the operation theatre, and there was a room for MRD Bhatt. And this was, I think, argon laser was introduced before the ag laser. Argon laser was 79, along with Berkeley Bioengineering Supervision, the vitrectomy unit. And before that, Vijaya Sakat was used to do the vitrectomy, which was devised by Mr. Dixon. And the probability was just pressing the foot pedal for suction. And they followed by YAG laser, which you see there. And it was almost touching the roof, and Mary Abraham is performing the YAG laser. Dr. Badrinath is watching from behind, and all our staff in the back. And this was donated by Dr. MGR that time. And when I had given contact lens, it happened right in my room with the chief watching the whole thing. And then one Mr. Muthu gave the money, and then we got the 6 lakh YAG laser machine. Next slide, please. So we were the first to start the argon laser. We were the first to start the YAG laser. And Voice for Vision was 1983. The MS Association started, and she, along with her husband, gave a lot of performances, and especially the one at Delhi. And recently, I think there was a performance at New York with the guidance of Dr. Badrinath to commemorate her 100th year. And I think MS has done so much to the organization, right from giving us royalty, and also I think she played just in the inauguration of Swan, and that Korean Village was a very popular song, especially liked by our chief. Next. This was the first batch of postgraduates, and find Dr. Sita Lakshmi. Because for the YouTube people, I thought I would chat with Tamil also. Next is Priya, who was in the glaucoma department, and Venkamali. This was one of the August festival that used to have basic science lectures. Next. This was the inauguration of our Ramnath Iyer block, which is now hosting the administration officers and contact lens unit. You can see Mohan Rao and R. Venkatraman. R. Venkatraman was part of Sankara Nethralaya, and Vaidyanathan is just having the head in the back. And this was the next building after the amenities building. Next. This was the group of consultants that time who were given a lot of time to the organization, and we were all becoming addicted to alcohol, that is workaholic. So the culture of what we see, the long hours, and myself and Dr. Lingam Gopal, we had seen 105 patients a day. Still that record is not broken by anybody. And I don't want to mention each and every individual seen in the photograph, because for the virtual meet, it is too smaller a photograph to be magnified. You find most of the consultants there, and Joanna, the vitreoretinal surgeon, is sitting there. Next slide, please. Lot of the post-graduation fellowship programs are all simultaneously going on. Next slide, you find so Mrs. Sureka Mehta there, looking so young. Next. You find Richard Gallo. Dr. Badrinath actually started the first workshop way back in '79. He brought Richard Gallo from Boston for ultrasound, and Mary Abraham made a trip to Boston and then brought this Richard Gallo, and then the first ultrasound also was inaugurated and first in the country. And our president, Mr. Mohan Rao, is right in the middle. Dr. Badrinath with the stateless suit is there. Next one. Next. You find the giant Dr. Charles Stephens along with our giant Dr. Lingam Gopal. And you find Sridhar Rao conducting a workshop. Next. You can see Dr. Ravi Shankar was the CEO. These are the pillars: Sankara Nethralaya, Mary Abraham, Ravi Shankar, B. Sridhar Rao, Prema Padmanabhan, Nirmala Subramaniam joined sometime in '81. And we were the first team, and we had to advertise for fellowship program. And 4 fellows applied, and all of them got selected. And that was Narendra Lath, M.S. Ravindra, Bangalore, and Dr. Sita Ramanujan from Andhra, and one more person. Next. Dr. Badrinath's family was actually an extended family to our family. And this photograph illustrates, I think this was taken in our JB is there, Bengal Association at Srinagar. And my daughter Satya is there, and my wife is there. My daughter is sitting on Vasanti's lap. This photograph was in '83. And then Constable College started, and Ravi Shankar played a crucial role in starting the ONA program, Ophthalmic Nursing Assistant program. And Vasanti is there. Next. This was actually the Washington research group head visiting a Paul Gupfer. And then you find another giant, Dr. Tarun Sharma, with a dignitary. Next. This was an interesting photograph where we had a camp at the Sriperumbudur, and I was writing the file, and Dr. Badrinath was holding the vision chart. A very memorable picture as far as I am concerned, and one of the Sunday. So we used to work all the days. And here at the bottom you find L.E. Prasad, Dr. Satish Gupta and his wife, and Dr. Gulapalli Rao actually stayed in our campus for 10 days and did the best for the L.E. Prasad Institute at Hyderabad. Before joining, he sent these 2 people also. Next. Another group. I think by the first group, by the time we had the second photograph, some addition was there. 2 consultants left, and little more, I think, we look more matured in this photograph. And I was a medical director this time. And the small suggestion to Girish Rao will be that to take the present group of consultants one of the days in future after the COVID, because after that we never took a group photograph of the consultants or the employees except celebrating chief's birthday. Next slide, please. These are the occasions, I think, a lot of workshops. and you find Rajat Agarwal. Next slide, please. Once again, I think a lot of CMA programs and a lot of workshops on retinal, glaucoma, cornea, etc., etc. Next. So Dr. Badrinath had so much of fascination for VIPs, and this was one was the class. This was I don't know. I think VIP from basic. Next, Advani. I think that was Advani. Once again, I think 1985, on the same day, 6th September, we started the elite school of optometry. So many happy returns to Anuradha and team today. Happy birthday to our elite school of optometry. Next. Karnanidhi was taking part in the 89 function when the rural eye hospital was inaugurated. There were 3 Shahs, C.U. Shah, C.K. Shah and C.K. Shah. And the C.U. Shah gave the seed money and C.K. Shah gave the money for the elite school of optometry and C.J. Shah for the cornea department. So there are a lot of Parsi group and Marwari group and Gujarati groups helped in the foundation, and Dr. Badrinath himself had raised more than 300 crores. Next. This was 99 when we finished the Wellington. So 98 we bought it, in 99 we had an inauguration, and unfortunately President of India Narayanan could not make it, and Karnanidhi took the phone call from Dr. Badrinath, and he inaugurated the Wellington group, changing it to JKCN, what we see now. Mohan Rao, we see in Arcot, Veera Swami, the health minister is there. Next slide, please. Then we had, I think, Rajnikant bringing in for eye donation to our dear Prema is there, and Vasanthi is there, and Mrs. Shivashankti and Muthuraman. And Rajnikant gave a donation of 2 lakhs, and he had a novel idea that to have the patients who are poor to have cornea transplant, and the family to be treated free of cost from the donation what he gave, which we exhausted long time back. And again, Dr. Badrinath and myself visited him twice, and still pending this further donation. Next. You find Abdul Kalam. This is 2003, inaugurating the teleophthalmology, and he requested that I come from Tandalam, and requested me to take this bus to Tandalam and do the screening. And the previous day at 12 o'clock, we met him at Raj Bhavan along with Chief and Madam. Next. Navasuja inauguration was in 2003, and my friend Mr. N. Murali, Vice Chairman of the Hindu group, is inaugurating them. You can see Prema and Vasanthi. Next. Once again, I think the KB Nirvo block, we found, I think, again, Karnanidhi inaugurating that. And he had 2 functions that day. One function at Agarwal. So he attended our morning function and then went off to Agarwal in the evening. So 2 IOs inaugurated some project. Next. Again, we are the pioneers in electronic medical records, and I was thinking that it will be a major project, but I think Dr. Badrinath along with TCS and Sudhir, I think it has gone a long way, and there are more than 15 institutions taking our electronic medical records. Next. This is the Calcutta branch, the Mukundpur branch, and that was 2009. Next, please. It was headed by Dr. Sujata Gula. Next. Then launch of the popular Visu van, which operates going to the remote places,
and operating there. And it is under coming under Dr. Rajesh. Congratulations to the team. Next. 2017 was Mamata Banerjee. We can see Mamata Banerjee, Chief Minister of Bengal, and Dr. Vasan is sitting there, and you also find Dr. Sujata Guga. And this was 2017, inauguration of SNK. Next. And then JCOC, this year, 2020 January. First, I think 2018, the Bhumi Puja was performed. Next. So we had the blessings of Jayendra Junior Swamiji, now Vijayendra Saraswati, inaugurating the BG Appukutti campus JCOC. This was January 2020. And Swamiji also is from my village, Kandalam, and is my patient. Next. Now you find that a lot of accolades for Dr. Badrinath. He is receiving Padma Shri way back in 81, and we had a party hosted by A.C. Muttaya at the Spic building top terrace. And then you followed by Padma Bhushan. K.R. Narayanan is giving in 1999. And then a lot of, I think his room was full of certificates and bouquets, or whatnot. He has received so much of Lawrence for his bringing this institution. Next. Once again, I think Dr. Badrinath is receiving so many awards and functions. Next. This is our library, and also we were the first in the giving the highest standard, first ISO and NABH. Both were awarded to us. And this year, I think we received the best hospital, high hospital in the one of the best high hospitals in the world. Congratulations to the team. Next. These were the pictures of the teleophthalmology. Before, I think, Misu, we had a teleophthalmology. And so many collaborations you see on the right side of the slide. Next. So the one important message from Palkiwala actually wanted to see the organization, and then he visited our general toilet, and he said in Bombay he had not seen such a hospital having such a good toilet, and with that in mind, I think he gave, after a lot of meetings, he gave more than 2 crores, and then shares and bequeathed his property also. Then you find a lot of writings about our hospital, Abdul Kalam, K.R. Narayanan, etc. Next. Next. So, lot of functions at Nethralaya. We don't have time to elaborate, except MS Sublakshmi is seen on the top. This was when I joined Nethralaya, 78, and then every 10th year, my photograph, now I could see the recession and see the scapegoat sitting next to me, Jayanti Surendran, without which I could not have contributed to the society and Nethralaya. Next. This is a unique this thing of celebrating our chief's 80th birthday. You find the 8 and 0 mark, and with chief written by just staff of Sankara Nethralaya lined together, and very well organized by Malati, then Anuradha, and the present administration team under the guidance of Dr. Girish Rao. Yes, next please. We performed more than 100 costries. I think it was 103 to celebrate 80th birthday of our dear chief. And all surgeries went off well. And God bless both of them. Next. I'll just mention few of the first. I think Dr. Ayan Sundaraj and team has contributed a lot. And I think AS block was inaugurated in 2015. I had not shown by donation from Malati, donation from Mallika Srinivasan of Tafe, and Roger Hutt in 2016, which I showed, and a lot of workshops I am not able to show. I think we are getting the Smile 2020 LASIK, and this will be the latest. With these few words, I wanted to thank one and all, especially the three giants, Mr. Barwale and the Mr. Palkiwala, and many donors who have contributed and made such a big institution with so many branches, seeing about 2,500 patients, outpatients a day, performing 150 operations. God bless Nethralaya. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. TSS. What a wonderful journey and what lovely anecdotes that you shared with us. Now we move on to the next eagerly awaited talk by our beloved chief.
Good evening. Can you hear us?
Good evening, madam. We can hear you.
Good evening.
First of all, our
Yes, madam.
apologies
Good evening.
for confusing last time. But in a way, I am happy that Dr. Surendran gave the gist of all the summary of the last 42 years. And in the pamphlet, you are saying that wishes from Chief and Madam. You know, I would say we are so blessed with so many people being with us at Nethralaya. And when you say about the best wishes, we have the blessings of so many saints, you know. Perhaps most of you would be knowing that Dr. Badrinath was very fortunate to operate on Mahaswami, who is considered as the Shivan himself, you know. And this was in 1974. On Dhanvantari Jayanti Day, the surgery took place, just 2 days before the Deepavali. Then next month, with Jayendra Saraswati Swamiji, the next Pithadipati or joint Pithadipati, you can say, he was in Mahabalipuram, and in those days he was also always, he also walked all through the places, cities and things like that. I don't know how many of you know that Mahaswami has walked from Kanchipuram to Badrinath temple. So he came, he had some eye problem, so he had asked us to ask Dr. Badri to come and meet him in Mahabalipuram. We had gone there and we requested him to come to Chennai, which he came, and he arranged, he asked two people, his mutt people, to organize a group of doctors of various specialties to come together, and he gave a talk. And it was such a beautiful talk. My Tamil was not good at that time, and even it is not good even now. So, Tamil Nadu Tamil, I do not know. So the very last thing what he had mentioned, that I have no sort of objection of doctors making money, you know, but all of you make good money, but at the same time, you keep in mind that there are lots and lots of poor people in our country, so you should help them. And that really touched Dr. Badri, because perhaps many people do not know that though we had a training in US, the day he wrote, he gave the Viva OC board exam of American Board of Ophthalmology, It completed at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and we had left the country to come back to India. So we didn't stay there. Even I had asked Dr. Badri that everyone stays there 1 or 2 years, looks around and gets a job and makes some money, because we both are from middle class, people. So his answer was that it is something like drinking alcohol, that alcoholic drinks taking. You are never satisfied with one glass. You will always ask for another glass and another glass and things like that. And whatever it is, soon after we came here to Chennai, he had private practice in HM Hospital. At the same time, he was working in Voluntary Health Service Hospital, and Dr. K. Sanjeevi was very happy with him, and he even got, we had here inaugurated the Retina Center in VHS, you know. So the thing is, this blessings from Jayendra Saraswati, I will never forget. That touched Dr. Badri, and then the effort started. And he joined Vijay Hospital because HM Hospital, Mr. Mehta was closing it. So in Vijay Hospital, Nagi Reddy was also very happy with Dr. Badri. And he said, Dr. Badri expressed to him that I would like to start a society or trust as such. At that time, he gave the permission, and that is how the inauguration took place at Vijay Hospital in 42 years back. The thing is, actually our friend Dr. Mani, late Dr. Mani, he was an orthopedic surgeon, and he used to send lots of patients to Dr. Badri at HM Hospital. And when he came to know that Dr. Badri would like to start Nethralaya or some society like that, which will help the poor patients, and also teaching and training was also on, he was keeping it in mind. So we must have an institute as such. So that he introduced us to Mr. C.U. Shah. You read the C.U. Shah board in our RDH complex as such. And believe it or not, C.U. Shah, when he heard the whole story about it, where are you practicing, all the questions he had asked us, a real businessman he was. He, on his own, he went to meet Mr. Nagireddy and inquired about how the two things are going to be linked. The private trust of Nagireddy and a non-profit organization which Badri was thinking. And he called us again to the hotel where he always stayed in Savera Hotel. He called us over there, and very plainly he told Dr. Badri that if you want to start a hospital institute like that, don't stay with the person with a trust, a private trust. You must have your own hospital as such. And right away, he gave 10 lakhs in 42 years back. Or so it is really something that we should remember. We were always thankful. And later, Mr. C.U. Shah, when he came, I think he addressed a good number of postgraduate students. And so the hospital really grew up. What I want to say that not only the Kanchimat Swamijis, but our institute is blessed by so many Swamijis, and including Jain Swamijis also, particularly Surekha Ben would always bring these Swamijis, or their Swamijis would refer some patients, and that is how we have blessings of all of them. And I know that both Badri and myself, we are retired, but I have no fear that the hospital will run or not run. That thought doesn't come to my mind. because all of you are there, and I really wish you all the best. Thank you. Dr. Bade would like to say a few words. You know, you may find it difficult to hear him. Please bear with it.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is a pleasure to meet you all through my mother. And I'm happy to take it my was the big audible response.
No, I don't think they can respond, Badri. No, they are listening to us. Are you able to hear Meenakshi?
Yes.
Yes. First of all, he wished all of you.
Short stories, not take too much of the time.
We are not able to see any of our pictures here on the screen. While Surendran, when he was talking, I could see him. No? Don't move it.
We can see both of you, ma'am.
Oh, okay. That
Yes,
is fine.
we all can see both of you.
Yes. Anything else, Pandi? Huh?
Short story.
Short stories.
Martin again about photocoagulation and reservation. Yes, the coagulation should first time. They came to Mahadeva and was operation. Some of you might have heard about him. Him mother of Greece, mother-in-law, very short and simple. The mother of Greece was a patient.
Raise up your chin, they can see better.
Dr. Badela.
Ma'am, Vasanthi ma'am, can you repeat some of what Chief is saying? Because he's not speaking into the mic directly, we are missing out on many of the words. So is it possible for you to just repeat whatever he has shared?
Now or later? Part of it, or not of it, reason. I repeated half the conversation
I
over.
mentioned to them what you say.
No, very boring. And to repair the thing, 24 hours. So very happy and satisfied. Mission is right. Everyone. This is more combination. I was not treating him. I just only met him. My game had gone to them. And they said, I can help him. I'm not really. You can influence, except of course, everyone. Thank goodness and thank you to himself. He's able to take care of his life. I said for a long time to come. You have to be my patient and never take care of so. I'm very happy about that. Depends on his concern. You heard about the solution of information. And nine talked about his relation. The best relation I ever made. I would like to see that. And then, when I mentioned that, it makes me happy. The best relation is ever made.
They are not able to hear. Lift up your chin and talk. Okay.
Ma'am, can I request you to please summarize whatever Chief said because we could not follow some of it.
And I remember the war, all the passengers and the pictures around.
Okay.
For the next book,
They, time woman add there for them. So many people have to talk the day. So many.
Go ahead.
More. Yeah.
Ma'am, would you just recap what he said so that we can collect the missed parts?
All the best for all of us. All the employees, all the doctors, everyone connected with Nethralaya. Okay?
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Right. Thank you so much. That alone will keep us going for a long time. And
Thank you, sir, madam.
You please convey back to him that his slightest wish was and will be our severest professional command. And thanks to you, ma'am. I remember I first heard you when you spoke in our orientation. And at that time, you told us never prick a patient twice. Because for you, it may be just an additional blood test that you forgot. But for the patient, it is a physical, emotional, and financial second insult. That is a message that we have carried till today, not only in that context, but also in other professional and personal contexts. And at this point of time, all of us would also like to applaud the role of friend, philosopher, and guide you have played in making Nethralaya where it stands today.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am. And I thank Dr. TSS also for that wonderful, bridge from then to now. But sir, why did you get all so serious today? We missed all your funny anecdotes. So before we quickly move on, I would like to recollect what is my favorite anecdote of Dr. Surendran's. Years ago, when the iBank was established, we did not have, I was not there at that time, I was a baby then. So we did not have a formal office, he would say, and there was no fridge dedicated to the iBank. So for the first time when the eye donations came in, the first pair of eyes, Dr. TSS brought them home. And since cold storage was required, he preserved those eyeballs in the fridge in his house. And when his mom opened the fridge to take out vegetables, I can imagine how startled she must have been. So this is the eye donation fortnight that we are celebrating. And this recall alone, sir, makes you a site ambassador. So moving on, SN is a place where the modern and the traditional meet. The culture and science get together. It's a melting pot. It's a melting pot where individuals and the institution enrich each other. And topping that list is our MD, Dr. K.S. Vasan. So I invite him to share his SN experiences in the long years that he's been associated with us now. Welcome, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Radhika. Good evening to all of you. First of all, namaskarams to Dr. Badrinath and Dr. Vasanthi Badrinath on this 42nd birthday of their third child, Sankara Nethralaya. By Indian calendar, the date was actually August 22nd, I think. Here we are celebrating it today, the English calendar birthday. My warm greetings to the entire SN family. Dr. Badrinath returned to India from the USA in 1970. India regained her famous son, and I have been in touch with all the developments of Sankara Nethralaya almost since inception. There are many remarkable stories to tell, but I will touch on just one. On several visits to India, my family and I would stay in his Chemius Road home. On one such visit, Nimi and I came to the College Road Hospital. This is the first building that Dr. Surendran showed. Must have been 1980. None of the present blocks were there. The campus was much smaller. He was very busy, but spent some time with us in his office. And on the way out, he came to say goodbye. As we were waiting for transportation, he suddenly left us and walked towards an old lady, held her hand, walked her gently into the hospital. The generosity of his soul, full of kindness and care, was in full display to everyone around to see and soak in. Not only was he a superb surgeon, but he is also fully dedicated to humanity. I came to SN in 2007 to serve him in his service to humanity. And I have loved working with all the talented and sincere people of Sankara Nethralaya. The SN family has imbibed his qualities in the pursuit of excellence, dedication, and commitment to work. He would often say work is worship. The past 4 decades of successes stand as testament to those values. The entire world is going through some difficult times this year due to COVID-19, both from individual health perspective and financial perspective. But I'm glad to say that when the virus hit us in March, we had a strong institution with a great reputation and excellent processes and protocols in patient care and management. We also had very substantial rainy day fund built up over the last 7 years and rupees 40 crores in corpus fund as well for free surgeries. And most of all, we have 1,800 strong, dedicated, competent, committed SN family members ready to pitch in and help the institution regain any lost ground due to this virus. We are currently implementing a number of measures to restore stability and confidence in our future. I'm absolutely confident SN will emerge from this virus setback stronger and more dedicated than ever before. Almighty's grace will continue to shine brightly on Sankara Nethralaya as always. As Bhagavad Gita teaches, let's do our duty and leave the fruits of our labor to the good Lord. Happy birthday to Sankara Nethralaya and all of its 1,800 members. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. That was indeed very reassuring. Next, we have somebody very special who has set such impossible service standards in the organization by her example that some of us are still struggling to catch up with it. I invite PP ma'am to tell us some of the tales from her long tenure in this place. Ma'am, over to you.
Dear friends, this is a special day and a special way to remind us of a special relationship that we all share and celebrate together. As we went down memory lane with Surendran in his inimitable way, did we all not feel a surge of emotion? But it was not just nostalgia. It takes only a moment of quiet introspection to realize the full significance of our journey with Sankara Nethralaya. Yesterday was Teachers' Day, and I think we all lost count of the number of messages we all must have sent, received, shared, forwarded, all by way of a spontaneous expression of love, gratitude, and respect that we have for each other. And what was striking was that there was no divide between young and old, senior or junior, medical, non-medical, across specialities, across cities, across countries. There are no boundaries among people who are bound together by a boundless sense of belonging, and in that lies our strength. 42 years ago, Dr. Badrinath invoked divine grace to found this institution with a chant that begins with the words, "Let the word Shankara." We all know those words. We hold them so dear. Even I would say every stone in the institute resonates with them. And if those words were so powerful, how ardent must have been his prayer, and how potent the benediction that he received on that day, for those words to have become the Taraka mantra of Sankara Nethralaya. It is only when an institution enshrines such a timeless spirit that it begins to pulsate and become a living consciousness that sustains us, nourishes us, gives us meaning and purpose to our lives. to me, and I'm sure I speak for everyone when I say this is indeed a temple where humanity is the deity and humanism is our form of worship. And if we keep our faith, I'm certain that Sankara Nethralaya will be a footprint for the good. I seek the blessings of Chief and Madam and extend my felicitations to everyone in this wonderful family. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. That was indeed very profound and touching. Next, I call upon the ageless, graceful lady with the golden touch in plastic surgery, Dr. Nirmala Subramaniam.
Can you hear me? Namaskaram.
Yes, ma'am, we can hear you.
Can you hear me?
Namaskaram, yes.
We are meeting today to remember with gratitude and to celebrate the historic 43rd anniversary of Sankara Nethralaya. We in India owe a big debt and should reverently thank our chairman, Dr. Badrinath and Vasanti Badrinath, for their vision to open up a new chapter in eye care in the country. How to describe the wondrous journey of 35 years I have had in Nethralaya? Yes, it was an accident. I had a minor injury to my cornea and went to see Dr. SSB, and it changed my life. After treating me, he asked whether I would be willing to help him in exploring the orbit. Without realizing the consequences, I said yes. I didn't realize at that time that the space, which is occupying just 1/3 of the face, could be so fascinating. And well, that's how I fell in love with oculoplastic surgery, and that continues. Sankara Nethralaya is my alayam. I learned the meaning of service to fellow human being. I am overwhelmed with the love and affection I receive from all the members of Sankara Nethralaya family. I would like to just mention one word. Dr. Vasanti, Madam, I am grateful and happy that you mentioned Dr. Mani, orthopedic surgeon. He was my husband's elder brother, a human being, absolutely a wonderful person. And more than that, I'm so happy that you remember him even now. This is not usual. People don't remember even if you do something good to them. But even after so many years, you speak about him with so much of an affection. It really touches me. My family is very, very happy about this. Thank you. And I thank the entire Sankara family for having accepted me, though I am a plastic surgeon. But I think I am part of it.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. As a cornea surgeon, I don't think it's appropriate for me to say this, but I should, and we collectively should thank the fate that put that scratch on your cornea and brought you to us. Because I personally stood in awe of you many times in the operating room of yours. So next we have Dr. JB, and the J in JB stands on one hand for the journals in which he has voraciously published as a research scholar. On the other hand, it stands for his jovial writing, which is his pastime. But today I think the J stands for his journey in SN, and I invite him to share some snippets of it. Dr. JB, sir.
My pronouns to Chief and Madam, and also pronouns to all the family members of Sankara Nethralaya. Greetings on the 43rd anniversary of Sankara Nethralaya. I know everybody has echoed my feelings. I don't want to repeat the same. I also feel it is a temple at Alaya. I just wanted to recollect one incident. I was doing the consultancy after the vitreoretinal fellowship. I was doing ophthalmic pathology as inspired by Dr. Badrinath. And it was in the small room in the main lab. I was having a small microscope and used to see the specimens, corneal button and eyeballs and all. One day he called me in the evening after the OPD hours and told me what microscope we are having. I said, there's Olympus microscope. He said that you have to get a better microscope. I thought that I may get another binocular microscope. He said, no, tomorrow or day after tomorrow, you go to all the medical colleges and the institute in Chennai and find out what is the best microscope. I found Ariyar Cancer Institute, one of the microscope with the camera. He said nothing, that you have to go above that. So we got a microscope, Nikon microscope with camera as well as polarizer. And that day I couldn't really fathom the depth of the vision which he had. And over the years, that became, we produced the quality images, we did the research, and with the Dr. KK and myself has now have from 300 to 3,000 specimens we receive, and we have got about 200 publications in ophthalmic pathology. All is due to the help from our all members, family members of SN, our secretaries, lab technicians, lab assistants, which made this journey possible. I like to thank everybody in the department as well as in the SN family. Same way that our UVIT's department has also grown from 1984. That one is Rajnikanta was there, and then after that I joined, and then Dr. Sudha Ganesh, and now we are 11 people, and we also contributed to that World UVIT's Forum. With these few words, I end my message, my recollections. Thank you very much for the opportunity.
Thank you so much, sir. So from that Olympus microscope to the Olympian research that came out of it, that was very nice to hear. So next we have someone who shares their birthday with SN, Dr. Pramod Bende. We, the SN family, collectively wish you very well for today. So truly you're the man of the moment today. So tell us some more.
Yeah, thank you very much, Radhika, and thank you very much, everybody, and all my teachers and friends. My salutations to everybody. Namaskaram. I mean, I owe what I am today, I think mainly, I would say three people here. Chief, Dr. LG and Dr. TS. I think just what I am, I think they made me today here. So, and also what you say, Dr. JB, talking about foresight of Chief, I think probably if Crush would not have been there, I think it started with Purva and Meena. I think would not have been there. I think one of us, either me and Muna and probably Lakshmi, both have to sit home for a year or two and would not have been continue their professional career as well. So I think in that aspect, family front of also, I mean, I really thankful to Chief, Madam, and particularly also Mrs. Sureka Mehta. I mean, actually all collectively work together, thanks to Swan as well. So really, they really gave us like this opportunity to continue the professional work. Well, just sticking to what I promised to Girish, just 2 or 3 anecdotes he said for 3 minutes. Well, me, my co-fellow Dr. Gajendra Chawla, and there was one intern we had, Ravi. He came for his from US. And Chief and Madam, we were traveling for a AIOS, Jaipur, on the way to, via Delhi. We have to have take a break in Delhi because train was late evening. We reached there early morning. So obviously all three of us are, know what to awkward feeling, what to do whole day with chief and madam there. Mrs. Anju Shroff was kind enough that she made arrangement in her flat for all of us to stay there. So morning, first thing chief says, all three of you are not sitting here whole day. I'm just arranged for a car. We are going to go for daily sightseeing. So it was nice day. We also sort of partly relieved because otherwise all the time, what we are going to talk to chief. So, and we got delayed. Really enjoyed our tour. And around 2:30, 3 o'clock afternoon when we came back, and then we shocked chief and madam both were still waiting to have lunch. I said, sir, why don't you finish? Because we got delayed. He said, how can have lunch when you people are not there? I don't think anybody even will stay, wait for the kids also. I mean, how caring, I mean, it's so heart touching it was, both of them waiting for all three of us to come back, and then we had lunch together. Another incident, again, why I said why we are today is because of him, is I know he had a back problem. And when I started my just about to start my consultancy, he was with that back pain standing next to me. Entire surgery, that 1.5 to 2 hours, he watched. He was very particular that he won't say anything because he knew if halfway through he start giving me instruction, probably I may not be able to concentrate on a surgery. We finished. He didn't say, okay, well done. He said, you come and see me in the evening. Particularly when we get those instructions, just come see me evening, means our hearts start beating something is not right. And then when I met him, he was so, I realized his keen observation. He was sitting with a pen and pencil, with a paper. He said, Pramod, this is what happened during your surgery. Okay. Suturing was like this. Your needle should be 2/3 in a needle holder. It was 50% this side, 50% that side. Your angle should have been 90 degrees. Your angle should have been, actually it was 120 degrees. I mean, those so finer things he picked up, and he said, because your angle was like this, and that's why you had a difficulty and you apply extra force while suturing, and that's why you have to cut that suture and took another suture. So every small point, entire through, right from beginning till the end, he narrated me. And then he said, okay, now you understood. Now you go back. We used to have those cloth towel, we used to call the stone towel. He said, now you understood what I told you. You are going back to OT, ask for a stone towel, ask for a 10-0 nylon, sit with that microscope, suture that entire length of the towel, come back to me and show. See, that's the way there was a training, and I think that's why I'm not surprised all of us really came out like that. Just these two incidences, I think that's what we are, really, really thankful and grateful to you, and thanks to seeing them. I'm so happy to see both Madam and Chief here once again. And again, thanks to everybody and our maintenance team and multimedia team for organizing this such a wonderful meeting. Thanks. Thank you so much.
Thanks a lot, sir, for regaling us with all those anecdotes. So now I'm handing over to Dr. Meenakshi, who's going to give us a presentation of fact files on Foundation Day and take you through the rest of the evening's program. Dr. MS.
Thank you. And Mohan, can we have the presentation? Can we have the first presentation? There we go. So this is just going to be a quick recap, and I'm just going to talk rapidly as Mohan goes with through with the PowerPoint. So this is the 28th Foundation Day, and the banner is up. And there's a lovely display at the entrance with flowers. And here, Shiva and Parvati are ready for their dance program. The group dance, it's a folk dance with live accompaniment. Enthralled audience. Look at Chief and Madam, keenly observing. Aha, Chief is looking rather stylish in that t-shirt. More dignitaries are on the dais. And there is a generous donor, I believe. More photographs with all the dignitaries in the dais. And you can see spot Dr. LG in the corner. Miss Chandrika, a long-term volunteer of ours. Foundation Day 2007. Beautiful Rangoli to welcome all the participants. Ah, the gods and goddesses. So cute. Look at all of them. The fancy dress. And we are famous for our team colors. The teams all sit together. Oh, that's me, I guess, singing something. Ah, look at, don't miss Dr. LG in the front and Shivakumar in his bright, bright t-shirt in the back. And as momentum picks up, it's Team Violin. And Team Pullankural, which means flute, in yellow color. The audience, the whole hall is pretty packed. Oh, wow, look at that, where she is in the dance. And that's Mr. Ratnam, I believe. They're all having a good laugh. And violin team wins, and Chief is there, right there, with so many familiar faces. The winning team again. Madam is right there with her team cap. And all of them on the stage. Don't miss this cute photograph of Madam and Chief with the team cap. I think it's precious. Aha, lunchtime. Look forward. And we move on to the 30th anniversary at Don Bosco, Egmore. And that's singer Anuradha Sriram, I believe, and Dr. LG. And the lighting of the Kuttavalakku. Oh, again a fancy dress. Look at those cute ones. And all the judges are getting ready, the first row. Keenly observing. This judge is listening to the beautiful music, perhaps. Dr. JB, deep in thought. Packed hall as usual. Everybody's still sitting and enjoying themselves. Ah, Mr. Vaidyanathan and Chief enjoy a moment together. Saying hello, I think that's Mrs. Sachu behind, the actress. Mr. Vaidyanathan again, and the dignitaries on the dais. Aha, and Dr. T is there, I spot him there. Mr. Padmanabhan. And Sri S.P. Muthuraman sir. What a lovely photograph. And the winning team. I can see Sushila madam right there with the winning team. And 31st Foundation Day. All the important people are now, Chief doesn't miss a single Foundation Day. Look at him, all enthusiasm for the program. Mr. Harinarayan there posing for a nice photograph. And the audience as usual. Packed hall. Chief addressing the gathering. I think I see Dr. R.A.G. back there and Dr. D.A.D. too. And the 32nd, which was in 2010. A lovely exhibition to showcase all the journey of Sankara Nethralaya. Right here on a campus, a photo exhibition. Popular, it looks like. The program is on. Big group there. Looks like I don't miss any of the programs either. I'm right there with my boss, Dr. TSS, and I spot Dr. Elvicha right behind me. 33rd at MGM, for which we all go as a group by the bus arranged by SN. And we have a good day at MGM with our families, enjoying the lovely rides. There we go, big group. And of course, yummy food. And the 34th, Is Muthuraman sir with Chief again? And Dr. Vasan joins us on stage. Madam is amused by something. The teams are again back with their colors and the balloons. And the cute gods are there, back there. And I see Sri Subalchan Jain, sir. And this is again, I think we had a live audience that year, a live orchestra that year. And the singers are being acknowledged. Thank you. Thank you, Mohan. And we move on now to some more speakers today who are going to share their memories. And first I have Dr. Vijaya, Distinguished Senior Consultant Glaucoma. Vijaya is a good friend and is like a confidant for so many of us. And Vijaya has a long, long association with Sankara Nethralaya. Over to you, Dr.
Thank you, Meenakshi. Thank you very much. Respected Chief, Madam, and all other SN family members, a very warm 43rd anniversary wishes to all of you. I would like to thank Girish for giving an opportunity to be part of this evening program. My association with the SN is for 34 years. That means I have spent more than half of my life here. So when you stay for such a long period in one place and you love the place, that becomes your home. I started here as a student. I have grown personally and professionally over these 3 decades. What I am today is mainly due to what SN has given me. In few words, if I have to describe how I feel while being under the umbrella of SN, I would like to say I feel happy. I want to underline the next word and emphasize the next word. I feel secure all the time and I feel content. What else one can wish for more than this in anybody's life? I'm ever grateful to SN and SN family for what they have done to me. Girish asked to give anecdotes. I have thousands of anecdotes. I can't be sharing everything. And some anecdotes I never discuss with anyone. So they're very personal anecdotes. Today I decided I will talk about those 2 very personal anecdotes. I always used to assess Chief's mood depending upon the way he addresses. Whenever he called me madam, that means he was very, very upset with me. I know what I'm in for. So when it was Dr. LV, a doctor, I know that he was very annoyed with me. When he was happy with me, he used to have a special address for me. Nobody else in SN had that. I was the only person who had that. You may be wondering what is that special to me. He used to call me Vijaya Garu. He used to address me many with suffix like G, like Gopal ji, Prema ji, Tarun ji. But Garu was only for me. So some of you may be wondering what is Garu. It is equivalent to G or our girl, and it's a Telugu word. Thank you, sir, for treating me so special. I just want to tell you, I do miss that a lot. And the second anecdote is really personal. And you may be wondering why I have dressed up with very odd looking earrings, which I stopped wearing at my age years back. There is a reason behind it. Chief used to be very traditional and orthodox when it comes to how you dress up for work or to any SN related functions. I always respected his views. Not because I was scared, it's mainly because out of the respect I had for my beloved teacher. In 1991, when I was in my early 30s and when I was young, I conducted a glaucoma meet with an international faculty from California with Dr. Mark Lieberman. I finished the first day session, but I didn't get any feedback from boss how the day went. I was very tense. The day night, there was a dinner, faculty dinner. As usual, I dressed up in the similar kind of saree with these earrings, what I'm wearing now. And when I was waiting to get into the hospital car to go for the dinner, he walked towards me and I froze. I froze with the fear that he is going to say something about the meeting. He came close to me. He said, "Beautiful earrings, and you look beautiful." That made my day. I remember that incident even today, how he obviously was happy with what happened and he complimented me with that. And that thought came to my mind. I thought I never discussed with anyone these two anecdotes. I thought maybe I will share with you. And I was very young, and this remark really thrilled me. I still remember that. Thanks again for the entire team for the opportunity. Thank you very much. Grateful to SN forever. Long live SN.
Thank you, Vijaya. Those are such cute, precious episodes. When you talk about your beauty, even though I don't have a slot to say an anecdote, I wanted to say that tradition continued because when I joined SN, and the directors' meeting had happened in the boardroom, the 6th floor boardroom, and they were all walking out. And I thought, and I just ran into them and I stopped and froze for a second. And I remember Chief looking at me and just making a sign like this because I just had a haircut. I had cut it really short. So I was really struck about how observant he was and never failed to, give you a feedback. Next, we have.
I'm really sorry to interrupt you, but I couldn't resist adding one small bit to that. So on the other side, whenever I used to attend grand rounds as a PG, I was always a front bencher. Also, when I was sitting in the front bench, she would spot me if I didn't wear a bindi. So before coming into the grand rounds, I always used to put a packet of bindis in my purse and then go and sit over there. In case one fell, I have one ready to stick on so that he wouldn't spot me without one. Thank you. Sorry for the interruption.
Yeah, I think Radhika, even today, if you, just few months back, maybe a year back, I got a call. I was in theater. Chief wants to see you. For some reason, my bindi fell down. So first thing I checked before seeing him whether the bindi is there on me or not. So I think this has become a kind of a respect to respect his views.
Yeah, thankfully something
Thank
never
you.
changed. And up next is Dr. Suchetna Mukherjee, Deputy Director in charge of Raja Hart, Sankara Nethralaya. Over to you, Dr. Suchetna.
Madam, video playing. I'm going to play video.
Okay, sure.
Good evening. I feel extremely privileged to have this honor of sharing my thoughts on this very happy occasion of the 43rd anniversary of Sankara Nethralaya. My association with Nethralaya began in 2002 when I went to Chennai for a fellowship. For me, it was love at first sight. Back then, Nethralaya had already established itself as a center of excellence. I was really impressed by the dedication and commitment of the entire staff and the philosophy of Nethralaya laid down by our beloved chief. When Nethralaya started expanding and the Kolkata Center came up, I joined as a consultant in 2005. My journey over the last 15 years as a part of the Nethralaya family has been simply wonderful. I have learned a lot and grown both as a professional and as an individual. I've seen that whenever a person is associated with Nethralaya, the bond never seems to break. So when an alumnus meets up with another person after many years, they can't seem to stop gushing about Nethralaya. It is said that you can take a person out of Nethralaya, but cannot take Nethralaya out of a person. I'm so thankful to Chief and Madam for having envisioned and established this great organization, something that has changed the way ophthalmology is practiced in this country. I feel proud to be a student of such stalwarts like LG Sir, PP Madam, DSS Sir, TS Sir, GD Sir, PD Sir, and so many more, all of whom have contributed to making SN what it is today. Not only a center of excellence, but a pillar of trust for the common man for their eye problems. I have one wish I want fulfilled, and that is to have Chief and Madam come and bless the facility at Rajarhat, Kolkata, which is already into the 4th year of its existence. May Nethralaya continue to service to the community. May all the members of the Nethralaya family stay safe during the pandemic. May God bless Chief and Madam so that they can continue to guide and bless us. And above all, may God bless Sankara Nethralaya. Thank you.
Okay, next we have Dr. Jayachandran, who is a senior anesthetist and who's an avid teacher and has also taken innovations and research in ophthalmic anesthesia to a new level. Over to you, Dr. Jayachandran.
Good evening. Am I audible?
Yes, sir, you're audible.
My slides are viewed, no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, they're visible.
My slides are seen?
They are, sir. They are.
Yeah,
Yes.
thank you. So today, yeah. So today I thought I will be sharing some photographs, and connected to those photos, I will be sharing some interesting moments which I had along with the chief. As you all know, and it was a huge success. Now, during the preparation of the Congress, when I was presenting the budget to our chief, I told him that total proposed expenditure would be somewhere around 13 to 14 lakhs. Then we have collected so far about 3 to 4 L. On hearing this, he closed his eyes and started to think over. There was absolute pin drop silence in the room for a couple of minutes. I was actually moving like an earthworm in the mud. In Tamil, they call it as manpulu nerira mari. I was moving here and there. What is chief is going to say now? Now suddenly, he opened his eyes and said, okay, note it down now. 5 from MRF and 5 from VRF. Is it tallying now? He said. Now the spontaneity with which he said, I was thrilled, but at the same time, I was a little bit sad that I was not able to generate sufficient funds. Now this in turn motivated me to work hard, and finally at the end I was able to generate without utilizing the funds that was promised by a chief to us. Next, in the same Congress, we had a cultural program that evening. That it was a fusion music called Yodaka, and it was about to start around 6:30 p.m. I was enquiring with our chief secretary. He was also not sure whether chief would be able to make it. So we started the program. As you see here, it was pitch dark here. So the program ended around 8:30 to 8:45. When I turned back, I was surprised. He was at the back of the auditorium, thoroughly enjoying our music, and he came towards me and said, "Kalakittinga ponga." That means I have done my best, and I will never forget in my life. And then he had some nice chat with all the musicians there. Then he went up to the rooftop for dinner, and the chief's favorite dish is always hot dosa. Our even manager, Miss Malati, always used to insist that we should have live counter for chief. So he had via the steps. That time we had a bazaar like thing. This was the first time we had tried for the Congress in Sankara Nethralaya. The time was around 10 p.m. So he said that I want to have a look into the bazaar. Then I said, okay, sir, just wait here. Then I ran to the terrace. Then fortunately for me, that bazaar fellow was still having his dinner at that time. So I caught hold of him, and then we opened the bazaar. And our chief got a nice traditional golden yellow shawl for madam, and he said, I'm going to present this for madam that night. Then I asked him, sir, it would have been more nice if you had got the madam also along with this function. Then he replied, I was really stunned with that answer. Actually, what happened was that on that evening, there was one of our board members, grandson or granddaughter, I'm not very sure, birthday party was held elsewhere. So he has left madam there, and he has traveled all alone to attend our program and had dinner with us. This showed his commitment, dedication, both to the profession as well as for the love for the family. Hats off to you, sir. Whenever I visited any congress, I had any innovations, I used to share with him and get his feedback. He used to read all my certificates, trophies, medals, whatever I received. And finally, he inspired me and motivated me, which in turn made me to work harder and harder. In the end, I was able to attain this post, that is International President for World Congress of Ophthalmic Anesthesia Body. But unfortunately, I was not able to share this glad news with him in person, but I take this opportunity to share this glad news with you, sir, and I want to dedicate this post to you. Thank you, sir, for your continuous motivation, inspiration, guidance, and support. Thank you, madam.
Next up, we have a long-time friend of Sankara Nethralaya. She's a management trustee of SWAN's, Sankara Nethralaya Women's Auxiliary. Mrs. Sureka Mehta, or Sureka Ben as she's known. A formidable lady. I have memories of Seshu's wedding, for which Dandiya dance had to happen, for which Ms. Sureka Mehta showed up in my OPD and said, "You arrange PG's fellows for the dance." And then it was arranged. So over to you, Ms. Sureka Mehta. Ben, as she's known, formidable lady. I have memories of Seshu's wedding.
Good evening, everybody.
For which Sureka Mehta showed up in my OPD and said, "You arrange PG's fellows for the dance." And then
No, good evening, everyone. My memory takes me 43 years back to the inauguration of Sankara Nethralaya. Dr. Badrinath, a young vitreoretinal surgeon, wanted to set up a top quality eye care center. The institute thus set up by him as blessed by Mahaperivar Sri Kanti Kamkoti Pitam Sri Chandrasekhar Sarandatri Swamigal. From a small cheerful group of Dr. Badrinath and his students have with their untiring hard work grown Sankara Nethralaya into the banyan tree that is it today. Its branches have spread across India with numerous students still benefiting from the extensive exposure and experience that the institute has provided. Sankara Nethralaya stands as a premium institute providing quality eye care to the public at large. I have had the privilege to join Sankara Nethralaya as a volunteer, and then we formed a voluntary group named SWAN. We take care of underprivileged patients by providing them with food and other relief. SWAN has also grown up along with SN Sankara Nethralaya, helping the institute in various departments. I hereby extend my gratitude to Dr. and Mrs. Badrinath and other consultants and fellow doctors and staff of SN. On behalf of me and all the volunteers, I thank everyone at Sankara Nethralaya for giving us an opportunity to work in their beautiful environmental place to serve and fulfill our desires. I thank the volunteers for coming forward and helping Sankara Nethralaya in their various departments, and they go and work wherever they are required. Thanks to one and again. Happy Founders Day and to each and everyone at Nethralaya. Thank you very much. Thanks for giving me the opportunity to speak about Sankara Nethralaya 43rd Annual Day. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sureka Ben. Thank you so much. Next is, again, a few snippets of Foundation Day, the last few years. Mohan, can you put the PowerPoint, please? So we move forward with 2013 onwards with more excitement. This team is called Team Bhairavi. Yay! There we are. Oh, there I am singing again. Team Bhairavi. Our competitors. And now it's heating up. Now we have the drama. The play is getting more and more interesting. Rapt attention, Mr. Ravichandran, Chief. This says, just showing some patriotic fervor. The enthralled audience, again. The winning team. I can see Veena in the front. 38th Foundation Day. In the Dizzy World. Long line of our families, of our employees waiting to get in. Always popular. A day filled with fun. With the giant wheel. He is looking cool in those glasses. 39th Foundation Day. S.P. Muthuraman sir again. Being received. Some plotting going on in the team, Gigi Malti in the thick of it. The dignitaries are posing for a nice photograph. Mrs. Appukutti is right there. The orchestra is getting all ready. Chief in his bright red t-shirt and looking absolutely cool. And Mr. Suresh right there, also in red. Chief and Madam. Dignitaries on the dais, I spot Shobha Madam and I see Dr. D.A.D. Chief and Madam posing photograph. And the 39th Foundation Day, Roshni 2017. The drawing competition is going on. Mrs. Sudha Mohan, yes, and Ms. Nirmala. All looking enthusiastic and interested in the program. Chief again in his hat looking really cool, and there I finally see Dr. Sa and Dr. Vineet Ratra. All Roshni 2018, and this is very special because it's the 40th year. Aha, Dr. GSR there posing saying Halloween. Lighting of the lamp, Dr. VVJ, and a rare photo of Anant on stage. Rapt attention, Anuradha Sriram. Superman. The play is on. And that is a familiar figure. No one can miss. VVJ sir directing the play, the master director. Mohan behind. The dignitaries on the dais again. More photographs of the dignitaries. Book being released. Chief is right there in the front. Dr. TSS and Dr. JB. Dr. KKV, look at her. Oh my, that must be me. We won the play that year. We won the championship, and now Mohan, thank you for putting this very special photograph. It was a lot of fun. I hope you all had fun too, going through all the Foundation Day photographs of the last many, many years. Wishing everybody a very happy Foundation Day. Thank you, Mohan. Next, we have Dr. Anuradha, the new principal of the Allied School of Optometry, dynamic and stylish lady. Over to you, Anuradha.
A very happy evening to all. அனைவருக்கும் இனிய சிறந்த 43வது நிறுவன நாள் வாழ்த்துக்கள். இங்க இருக்கிற பேசுற கேட்கிற எல்லாருக்குமே என்ன ஸ்பெஷல் இல்ல? ஏன்னு நான் யோசிச்சேன். இந்த 43ங்கிற நம்பர் நிறைய விஷயங்களை ஞாபகத்துல எழுப்புது. ஆனா 4 விஷயம் ஷேர் பண்ணணும்னு நான் நினைக்கிறேன். 3 மறக்கல. ESO எலிட் ஸ்கூல் ஆஃப் ஆப்டமெட்ரி, சீஃப் அண்ட் மேடமோட செல்ல குழந்தைன்னு சொல்லுவாங்க. இந்த செப்டம்பரோட 35 years கம்ப்ளீட் பண்ணுறது. அண்ட் ஐம் ஹாப்பி டு ஷேர் திஸ் நியூஸ் அண்ட் சீக் ஆல் யுவர் பிளெஸிங்ஸ். கம்மிங் பேக் டு அந்த 4 விஷயம். முதல்ல 1994 நான் ஸ்டூடெண்ட்டாக இங்கே சேர்ந்தேன் இஎஸ்ஓவில். அப்போல்லாம் யாராவது கேட்பாங்க எங்கம்மா படிக்கிற அப்படின்னு கேட்டா சங்கர நேத்ராலயா அப்படின்னு சொன்ன உடனே இந்த எதிர்க்க இருக்கிறவங்களோட கண் அவ்வளவு பெருசா விரியும். எனக்கு ரொம்ப பெருமையா இருக்கும் அப்பெல்லாம். இன்னைக்கு வரைக்கும் இந்த சங்கர் நேத்ராலயாங்கிற அந்த பேரு, அந்த நீளமும் வெள்ளையுமா நம்மளோட அந்த லோகோ, கண் லோகோ, இது வரைக்கும் அந்த பிராண்ட் இமேஜுக்கு கிடைக்கிற மரியாதை என்னை ஒரு தடவையும் ஏமாத்தினதே கிடையாது. ரெண்டாவது விஷயம், சில வருஷங்களுக்கு முன்னாடி ஒரு டிவி சேனலுக்கு ஒரு ப்ரோக்ராம் எஸ்என் வந்து பண்ணணும், கண்ணும் கருத்தும்னு பேரு. அப்போ வந்து அது ஒரு 30 minutes ஸ்லாட். அதோட ஃபர்ஸ்ட் மீட்டுக்கு நிறைய பேரை கூப்பிட்டுருந்தாங்க சீஃபோட. அப்போ எனக்கு இன்னும் நல்லா ஞாபகம் இருக்கு சீஃப் சொன்னது. அவர் என்ன சொன்னார்னா, நாம பண்ணறது ஒரு அவேர்னஸ் ப்ரோக்ராம் கண்ணும் கருத்தும் அப்படின்னு. இது எஸ்என்க்கு அட்வர்டைஸ்மெண்ட் இல்லை. நீங்க எல்லாரும் மெடிக்கல் கவுன்சில் ஆஃப் இந்தியாவோட கைட்லைன்ஸ் அப்படின்னு ஒரு ரிசோர்ஸ் கொடுத்தாரு. அதை போய் படிச்சுட்டு அதுல இருக்கிறத அப்படியே ஃபாலோ பண்ணணும் அப்படின்னு சொன்னார். இதுதான் கரெக்ட், இப்படிதான் நடக்கணும் அப்படின்ற அந்த எத்திக்ஸ் அண்ட் வேல்யூஸ் சொல்லிக் கொடுக்குற ஒரு நிறுவனமும் தலைவரும் வேற யாருக்கு கிடைப்பாங்க? இதுதான் என்ன இம்ப்ரெஸ் பண்ண ரெண்டாவது விஷயம். மூணாவது விஷயம், அதே ப்ரோக்ராம்ல இன்ட்ரோடக்டரி சாப்டர் சீஃப் பேசினாரு. அவர் முடிச்ச உடனே நான் கண்ணோட பார்ட்ஸ் எல்லாம் எக்ஸ்பிளைன் பண்ணணும். அப்ப அவர் வந்து சொல்றாரு, இது அவர் பேசி முடிச்ச உடனே என்னோட கலீக் அனுராதா வந்து இப்ப பேசுவாங்க நெக்ஸ்ட் அப்படின்னு சொன்னாரு. ஐ எம் நத்திங் இன் ஃப்ரண்ட் ஆஃப் ஹிம். ஆனா கூட வேலை பார்க்குறவங்களுக்கு எவ்வளோ மரியாதை கொடுக்கணும் அப்படின்னு சொல்லி கொடுக்குற ஒரு ரோல் மாடல். அவரை மாதிரி நான் எங்கேயுமே யாரையுமே பார்த்தது கிடையாது. நாலாவது விஷயம், ஸ்கூல் ஸ்கிரீனிங். எல்லாருக்கும் தெரியும் நம்ம ஒரே நாள்ல வந்து மேக்சிமம் நம்பர் ஆஃப் ஸ்கிரீனிங் பண்ணியிருக்கோம் அப்படிங்கிறது. நான் வந்து அதுக்கு பெர்மிஷன் வாங்கறதுக்காக அவரை பார்க்க போனேன் சீஃபை. அப்போ அவர்கிட்ட சொன்னேன், சார் 50 கார்பரேஷன் ஸ்கூல்ஸ் அரௌண்ட் 10,000 ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸ் நம்ம ஒரே நாள்ல ஸ்கிரீன் பண்ண போறோம் அப்படின்னு. அவர் எடுத்த உடனே ஓகேலாம் சொல்லிடல, நிறைய கேள்வி கேட்டாரு. என்ன கிளினிக்கல் ப்ரோட்டோகால் சொல்லுங்க, ஃபினான்ஷியல் சப்போர்ட் சொல்லுங்க, பிளானிங் சொல்லுங்கன்னு நிறைய கேள்வி கேட்டாரு. எல்லாத்துக்கும் பதில் இருந்தது, நல்ல வேலையா. ஆனா அதுக்கு அப்புறமா ப்ரோக்ராம் முடிகிற வரைக்கும் என்ன ஒரு கேள்வி கூட கேட்கல. ஒரு இனோவேஷனை வெல்கம் பண்றது, அது சரியா வருமா அப்படிங்கிற ஒரு ஜட்ஜ்மெண்ட், அந்த விஷன், இந்த ஒர்க் அண்ட் பர்சன் அவங்க மேல வைக்கிற பிலீஃப் எஸ்என்னை தவிர வேற எங்க கிடைக்கும்? பிராண்ட் இமேஜ், எத்திக்கல் பிராக்டிஸ், the respect and vision of SN, all of which make us proud of SN, and that's why SN is special to all of us, right? பிணி இன்மை செல்வம் விளைவின்பம் ஏமம் அணியன்ப நாட்டிற்கு வைந்து, அதாவது ஹெல்த், வெல்த், innovation, happiness and security. This is important for a country or any organization. இந்த அஞ்சும் நிறைஞ்சு மேலும் மேலும் பல ஃபவுண்டேஷன் டேவை சீஃபோட மேடமோட இங்க இருக்கிற எல்லாரோடையும் சேர்ந்து கொண்டாடணும் அப்படின்னு ஐ ப்ரே டு த லோட்டஸ் ஃபீட் ஆஃப் மகாபெரியவா. தேங்க்யூ.
Thank you so much, Anuradha. Next up, so as we were talking about many aspects of Sankara Nethralaya, I think a lot of us were also inducted into wonderful leadership programs under Sri M.S. Jayaraman sir. And we called ourselves the Bumblebee Buddies. And that is how one of my buddies, a good friend, is Ms. Sridevi, Deputy Registrar TSNA, and she is up next. And this the wonderful thing about Sankara Nethralaya is that across different cadres of people, we have friendships, and that's so special. Over to you, Sridevi.
Thank you, ma'am. Am I audible, ma'am?
Yes, you are.
Thank you, ma'am. Good evening, everyone. I'm very much fortunate to work in this great, compassionate organization. 26 years back, I joined as a secretary in the main lab and had been secretary to Dr. Vasanthi Madam. After being secretary for 17 years, I joined TSNA and I am currently working as assistant registrar. In general, people say school days and college days are the golden days in one's life. But I will say my association with Sankara Nethralaya is my golden period in my life. When I first met Vasanthi Madam in her room, she advised that I must carry a pen or a pencil and a notepad whenever I come to her room. Madam used to appreciate me even for a simple copy and paste. அப்பெல்லாம் டைப்ரைட்டர் தான், கம்ப்யூட்டர்ல டைப் வந்ததுன்றதே அப்பதான். ஒரு சின்ன எக்ஸல்ல ஒரு காப்பி பண்ணி பேஸ்ட் பண்ணா கூட மேடம் வந்து அப்படி அப்ரிஷியேட் பண்ணுவாங்க. And the appreciations or being a big motivation for me. When I joined, as I said, I used to type the blood reports in the typewriter. One day when I was typing the reports, PP madam came, Dr. Prema madam. Madam க்கு இப்ப எனக்கு அது நினைவு இருக்கான்றது எனக்கு தெரியல, பட் நான் அதை ஞாபகம் வச்சுருக்கேன். அப்போ நான் டைப் பண்ணிட்டு இருக்கும்போது ஐ ஆல்மோஸ்ட் ஃபர்காட் மை ஃபிங்கரிங். அது அந்த இதுவே மறந்துடுது டைப்ரைட்டரில் ஃபிங்கர். ஏன்னா அது ப்ரீ பிரிண்டட் ஃபார்மேட்ல நான் டைப் பண்றதுனால அது மறந்துட்டேன். ஸோ அதனால ஒரு விரல்லையே எல்லா ரிப்போர்ட்ஸுமே டைப் பண்ணிட்டு இருப்பேன். அப்போ பிபி மேடம் கேட்டாங்க, நீனா ஒரு விரல் கிருஷ்ணாராவா அப்படின்னுட்டு. அது எனக்கு இன்னமும் அந்த ஞாபகம் இருந்துட்டே இருக்கு. And at the same time, she appreciated me for my typing the reports and handling the phone calls and talking to the patients. ஒரே டைம்ல அது எல்லாமே பண்றதை பார்த்து மேடம் வந்து என்ன ரொம்ப அப்ரிஷியேட் பண்ணாங்க. And I successfully completed my 2 master's degree and postgraduate in hospital management after I joined SN. And I learned many things after I joined SN. I'm still learning every day. I'm ever grateful to this great organization for my great experience. I pray to God bless our chief, madam, long life with sound health, and I also wish a prosperous future for SN. Thanks for giving me this opportunity. Thank you so much. Thanks, madam.
Thank you so much, Sridevi. And in a large organization like ours, a very important role is played by the HR. And so up next, we have Ms. Sudha Mohan, Senior Manager, HR.
Yeah, good evening, everyone. Hope I'm audible.
Yes, you are.
Yeah, thank you. So wishing you all a very happy anniversary 2020. As far as this evening's program is concerned, and the concept is like sharing anecdotes and experiences, like I consider myself a kid out here because I'm the junior most. Though I really feel very proud to be representing a huge, the SN employees as such. This is just my end of my 7th year in SN. So despite being very spending very less time here, still Malati had given me an opportunity to say a few words. So I consider myself really lucky to be a part of this event. So having worked earlier in corporates, in a very typical atmosphere, joining a not-for-profit organization has been an extremely satisfying experience. Yes, I did want to spend a part of my career in an NGO or an NPO or something like that. And I really consider myself very privileged, very honored to have got this opportunity to serve SN. And soon as I joined, one aspect, of course, the whole atmosphere, the employees, the culture, everything was totally new to me. But one aspect which I would like to share, which really took me by surprise from the depth of my heart, was the sense of belongingness which I observed among the SN family members. Being in HR, since I have the opportunity to interact with employees wherein they come for counseling, grievance handling, disciplinary issues, a lot of it, but the end of it all, they all have a sense of security, support, a sense of acceptance, a high feeling of inclusion, which all these traits which are hardly present in today's corporates or even other institutions for that matter. The feeling of identifying themselves so proudly with the institution, which is that identity which I consider to be a very fundamental drive for any organization. I also observed a strong sense of allegiance amongst the SN family. The sense of contentment and open happiness amongst the employees when they receive the benefits or awards or gifts, cheering each other. Even on a personal level, the way the staff help each other in times of any personal grief amidst their family. So when I get to hear all of this, we don't simply just say SN family. It really means a lot. And also the if employees, it's always a two-way. I mean, the initiatives taken by our institution, the benefits initiated by chief, and also the little acts of very small but very important acts of honoring every contribution and recognition when an employee does something, that is directly linked to their belongingness. That is why we have such a team today. The enthusiasm is really infectious here. And of recent, after I joined, it's been a very, come August, September, it's really been a very nice, joyful experience of having conducted the Foundation Day celebrations. Yes, I only hope we would be able to resume our festive spirit and would be able to come back to our Roshni time soon. So just started with few. Today we are many, not just in terms of employee numbers, but also with it, we have come a long way in terms of many. We've seen successes, milestones, achievements, a lot of accolades, and a robust SN family grew along the decades. So may this journey of our success continue, and let us feel proud and consider ourselves valued and blessed to have been a part of this epic journey. And I seek blessings of dear Chief and Madam on this special day. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Sudha. And here, looking forward to Roshni 2021. Which program, whether it's Foundation Day or today's, can happen successfully if we don't have an efficient person who's chasing us, giving us minute-to-minute programs. And so next we have Gigi Malati, who's the Deputy General Manager of Events. Over to you, Malati. Gigi Malati, you are next.
Maybe we can come back to her later.
Yes, while Malti is getting ready, then we move to the next speaker, who is Miss Yuvarani, who is Deputy Manager IT. Oh, Malti, you ready? Malti, we have you. Okay.
I'm sorry.
No problem.
I'm audible.
Yes, you're audible.
Okay. Wish you all a very happy Foundation Day. My humble pronouns to Chief and Madam. It's truly a delightful moment for all of us today, since we had the chance of meeting our Chief and Madam today after a long time. My association started with Dr. Vasanthi Badrinath in 1981 at VB Laboratory. I was working in her lab for about 3 years. Then I joined SN in 1984 when I was 20 years old. I have grown together with Sankara Nethralaya, my first home. When I joined, I was working in the appointment section and reception. The LGS staff were managing the consultation room and helping the consultants. Our chief wanted to change this and bring in clinical secretaries for consultants. He wanted to train a secretary on a trial basis for some months. So when Pushpa, who was in charge for us, asked all of us to volunteer, but no one was ready. But I came forward to be the trial secretary for our chief. That day was the blessed day of my life. Our chief trained me so well on all aspects in spite of his tight schedule. He himself taught me how to maintain the consultation room, how to bring in the patients, how to make them sit on the slit lamp or make them lie down on the couch for fundus exam, how to assist in suture removal, fluid gas exchange, writing prescriptions, writing in the file, how to talk to patients, how to talk on the telephone, and how to file the papers in the medical records neatly in the order from ICD record to the account sheet. even how to punch and staple the papers neatly, maintaining VR waiting list, surgery scheduling, and so many activities without any ISO or NABH. He expected perfection in everything that we do. He used to manage the patients skillfully, and I would say it is an art. Yes, it is an art. When I look back, life in room number 5 at Nani Palkiwala block was an unforgettable experience at SN. It is still very fresh in my memory. The old OPD cabins and office room of chief will be so neat and tidy, and everything will be in its place, even while examining 100 patients on a day. I was on my toes and really enjoyed those days thoroughly. That was my foundation course in my life. I learned everything and implemented up to his satisfaction. He was very happy about the trial and introduced clinical secretary to all the consultants. So I can proudly say that I was the first secretary in the OPD. Then I was promoted as reception in charge along with Shyamla and Veni. Later, when the hospital expanded, there was a need for a housekeeping in charge, and chief asked me to take it up. Housekeeping was a challenging job, and I could manage it well with the support and training provided. After decades, to meet the increasing demands of events and conferences, I was moved to the event management department. I have been working closely with so many consultants for so many events, and every event has been a truly enriching learning experience for me. At SN, every single day is a first learning moment. Yesterday was Teachers' Day, and I am thankful to all my teachers who molded me to this level. My sincere thanks to our beloved chief, madam, and all the consultants, my superiors, my peers, and my subordinates, and all the small trustees and volunteers. I am grateful that for 37 years, I have been a part of SN's mission of providing vision to the ED. What more can I say? One thing that comes to my mind is MS Amma's famous song, Kurai Ondrum Illai. Kurai Ondrum Illai Namakku. Sankara Nethralaya, Valha Valamudan. Chief and Madam, Valha Valamudan. Sankara Nethralaya, Kudumbathinar Anaivarum, Valha Valamudan. Long live Sankara Nethralaya. Let the divine force be with us always. இறை அருளும் குரு அருளும் நமக்கு எப்பொழுதுமே நிலைநிற்கும். வாழ்க வளமுடன். I thank Dr. GSR for giving me this wonderful opportunity. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Gigi, for those lovely words. Up next is Ms. Yuvarani, Deputy Manager, IT, another very bubbly person. Urai Ondrum Illai. No, I'm not going to sing. I just started it all. That's all. Over to you, Yuvarani.
No, madam, I'm going to play video.
You're going to play the message. All right.
Good evening, everybody. This is Ibrahim from the Department of Information Technology. I would like to take this opportunity to express my feelings as well as my experiences I have joined SN as an OMA. During this 23 years, I have learned and developed my career from the staff level to an executive level. With all the support and guidance from our SN management system and our colleagues. When I was working as a nurse, I got an opportunity to work with many consultants in board as well as in OT. In those periods, I got plenty of appreciation, recognition, and positive feedback from many consultants. On this event, I remember a foundation day with lots of activities such as music, dance, skits, etc. Because of this COVID situation, this year we are enjoying our foundation day celebration virtually. When I think of SN, I can do it only with utmost love and pride. It takes care of each and every one of the employees of our SN. To be frank, today I'm here, alive, and talking to you. It's just because of our essence, support, and affection. My sincere thanks to our beloved chief and always praying for us good health. My special thanks to our chairman, MD, CGM, GM, and each and every one of our employees. Thank you.
Thank you, and that was Ms. Yuvrani. Next, we have a video message from our very dear Dr. Ian Sundaraj. A long-time associate of ours. He is retired, but we have a fondness for each other, SN and Dr. ISR, and here is his message.
I served as senior advisor in anesthesiology at Sankara Nethralaya from 1983 for 35 years and witnessed a dramatic transformation in medicare, delivery, and anesthesiology. I am grateful to all those who have joined Nethralaya as full-time anesthetists and have helped in developing this specialty with passion, dedication, and care.
Thank you, thank you. And we are going to move on to the final video of this evening. And Dr. Girish, what a moving program this has been. So much nostalgia, hidden tears, lovely anecdotes. Thank you. This is going to be the last video. And this is a special video. Is when our beloved chief received the Living Legends Award from the NDTV in the year 2013. So let's relive those moments of glory with our beloved chief.
The gift of sight, uncompromising state-of-the-art attention, the determined vision of a living legend, Dr. S.S. Badrinath.
What I would like to do is to create an institution which will take care of these difficult cases, make rapid diagnosis using molecular biological techniques, providing this particular state-of-the-art surgical procedure at a very nominal cost, and also at the same time act as a training center so that more people from the rest of the country could come here, learn these difficult procedures, duplicate our experience elsewhere in the country. Respected President Ji, Dr. Pranab Roy, members of the family of NDTV, today we're celebrating the 25th year. So let me begin my talk by wishing many, many happy returns. Among the 25, I'm very proud to be one and to be honored before the Rashtrapati Ji. This honor belongs to our institution, and so let me thank you, sir, on behalf of Sankara Nethralaya, Chennai. There are many things to be done, I would like to say India really is a poor country, particularly healthcare. People are looking for good healthcare at affordable cost, good quality. India has a great future. The future is in the hands of the youngsters. I would like this honor which has been done to me be an inspiration for all the youngsters in India to do the best what they can for India, though it is poor and wanting in healthcare. One day, I want this country to be the greatest country in the world. Sir, let me also express my sincere thanks to my beloved wife who has stood by me over the years, and to my children, Shishu and Anand, for putting up with all the idiosyncrasies of Dr. Badrinath. So let me thank you so much again and say that this is a great motivation, and let this motivation reach out to the youngsters in the country and let them realize that they have something very important to do for the country. Let them not look for what is there in it for me, but let them remember the most beautiful words of John F. Kennedy: ask not what you can do what you can for the country. Thank you very much.
What a spirit. Thank you, Chief. Thank you, Madam. Over to you, Radhika.
That was a very special speech, and I would like to place on record what he said for the country. We shall also take it in letter and spirit towards our organization, Sankara Nethralaya. So as this engaging evening draws to an ending, I would like to profoundly thank our beloved Chief and Madam for the presence they bestowed on us today, because it is indeed an inspiration as we slowly step out of lockdown and get into full functionality. I also thank all the speakers for their essence stories. I thank Dr. Girish for conceiving this program and coordinating it. I thank Dr. Vasan for his support, the multimedia and Mr. Mohan, and the event management led by Mrs. Malati for their superb streaming. Every person of every member of the SN family who's virtually joined us today. I hope all of you enjoyed this program as much as Dr. Meenakshi and I enjoyed putting it together. Thank you, all of you.
Mohan, you can start.